The purpose of today's lesson is to write and graph in slope-intercept form. This is complicated. This is going to take some thinking. You're probably going to have to pause the video quite often, go back, and think about this, okay? Here's how it works. We have to rewrite this equation so it's in this form, y equals mx plus b. That means we have to get this y by itself. We'll look to see who's on the same side with the y. Don't worry about the 2 yet. That's going to be our next step. We've got to get rid of the 4x. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. Okay, that goes. But now I have 2y. These two cannot be put together. They're not like terms. And we would rewrite this as negative 4x plus 8. Notice how I'm putting it in that order, because x and then the constant. All right. Next, you have to get y by itself. So divide both sides by 2. Y equals a negative 4 divided by 2 is a negative 2x. 8, positive 8 divided by 2 is 4. That's your final answer. Here's a little bit of trivia. My daughter, who's almost 24, she saw this problem and she remembered how to do this. Slope-intercept form. So she's out of college and she remembered. She hasn't used it since, but she remembered how to do it. Okay? Okay, so we have to graph this. In order to do that, we want to get it in slope-intercept form. So we're going to get this y by itself. So we're going to get rid of the negative 5 and the x. You always want to take care of the x first by subtracting or adding it so it drops out on the left side. You're left with a negative 5y equals, notice how I'm putting it in order. Notice how I brought the negative 5. It's not just a 5, it's the negative 5. You have to be very careful with that. And then, of course, you're going to divide each term by a negative 5. So we're left with y equals, negative divided by a negative is a positive. I'm going to rewrite it as 1/5 x minus 2. Notice all the details. The slope is 1/5. The y-intercept is a negative 2. So we go here, rise 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could go down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a positive slope, so I know it was going to go uphill, left to right. Connect those. There we go. So once we get it in slope-intercept form, we're home free. The problem is getting it there. Okay. Come on. All right. So the steps are: get rid of x first. Then divide. And when you get rid of x first, you have to add or subtract. So let's take a look at this one. We see the y, so we're going to get rid of the x by doing the opposite. So 2y equals negative 3x minus 6. And then go through and divide everything by 2. So y equals negative 3/2 x minus 3. Graph. So the slope is negative 3/2. The y-intercept is negative 3. Start at negative 3. Rise 1, 2, 3 over 2. Is the alarm going off in your head? It is a negative slope. It should be going downhill. So instead of going to the right 2, I have to go left 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then it will be going downhill. Have to pay attention to that. Okay. Okay. Let's take care of the x first. 4x. We get 8y equals. I'm putting it in the correct order. Remember, you can't put these two guys together. They're not like terms. So what's happening is, instead of writing it vertically, we're just rewriting it horizontally. Like if I wrote the word cat, that's vertically. I'm just rewriting it horizontally. That's all you're doing with this information. Then we're going to go through and divide everything by 8. So y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. Notice you want to separate your slope. You want to be able to put your slope in the front, and your y-intercept should be after. So the slope is negative 1/2. The y-intercept is negative 3. Notice how I always put this out here. So I have negative 3. I know it's going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. I could have gone up 1 to the left 2. Just so you know, it has to be going downhill. This is a negative slope. Negative slope goes downhill. Okay? Number 4, you're on your own. You got this. Because this one is kind of simple. Number 4. So do that one on your own. Number 5, let me do that with you. Come on. It's not cooperating. I'll pause it and get that in there. Okay, got it. All right. Remember, take care of the x first if there is one. There are going to be places, there's going to be times when there aren't any. Here's the trick. So many people are going to miss that negative y. All right, so it was vertical. Now we're going to write it horizontal. Negative 5x minus 5. We have to go through and divide by a negative 1. You can't leave the y as a negative. Has to become positive. So graph that. 5, up 5, over 1, down 5, over 1, down 5, over 1. It's beautiful. It's a positive slope. Okay, the next two are a little more complicated, but not too bad. You got to find the y. We did. So take care of the x. That goes away. But look what happens. There's another x on the other side. So it goes away. All right, so what? So now we just have 2y equals negative 8. Got to get y by itself. Y equals negative 4. This looks familiar. What does it mean? That's right, it's a horizontal line through negative 4. Horizontal line through negative 4. When you have one variable, you're going to have either horizontal or vertical. All right, next one. Ooh, we got to do a little math here. That's all right. We got this. Distribute first, because we don't have just the y and the x. So we would distribute and get this. Now we're going to add 2x to both sides, because remember I said take care of the x. So now I have 2y equals 2y, ruh-roh. What's happening here? Minus 14. Oh gosh, this is tricky, all right. 2y, 2y. Because I got to get rid of this 2y over here. Look what happens. They both drop out. No. Don't let it scare you. We're going to have 0 equals 2x minus 14. Okay. Ooh, so it looks like we're just going to end up with an x equals a number. Do you know what kind of line this is going to be? Yeah, a vertical line. But we got to get the x by itself this time. So we're going to add 14, 2x, divide by 2, divide by 2. So x equals 7. Huh. It's a vertical line. Where is it through? It's through the x when it's 7. So we would just draw a vertical line. That one was pretty tricky. We'll put a little star by that. We'll call that a challenge. Because we got rid of the y, so that's a challenge. Okay. Crikey, we got 3 more on here. Nope, just kidding. I was already on this page. Okay, well, I'm going to hold this next part to another video. So this concludes, I'm going to call it part 1 of write and graph in slope-intercept form.